Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. Slight chance of rain. Today, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Highs level off around 52. Clear skies. Tonight, slight chance for rain. Lows around 33. Cloudy skies expected. Tomorrow, slight chance for rain showers becoming mixed precipitation. Highs level off around 44. I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently 25.
Kansas Mid-America Network News. I'm Andy Hoosier. The McPherson Police Department has shared a special post on their Facebook page from the Chief Michael Golden saying that he had an interaction as well with DJ Daniel, the 13-year-old boy that had survived brain cancer that attended the State of the Union address on Tuesday night, saying that he had an experience with DJ back in 2022 when DJ was sworn in as an honorary deputy at the FBI National Academy, which Chief Golden at the time was part of in that graduating class for the year. The boy had set a goal to be sworn in with 100 different law enforcement agencies across the United States before his passing. In other news, the city of Emporia, Kansas has officially voted to waive the chicken and fowl pen and domestic animal application fee for 2025, saying that with the ongoing rising prices of eggs, the city wanted to make it easier for residents to own and raise their own egg-laying hens in the community. The new city ordinance allows up to 4 hens per property. However, roosters are still prohibited. Mid-America Network News.
Fox Sports. Fox Kansas is Wichita's home for exciting live sports action. Start your weekend with a slam. And Fox College Hoops Friday as Purdue takes on Illinois at 7 p.m. Saturday, it's a full day of sports action, including NCAA basketball with St. John's and Marquette at 11 and USC and UCLA in primetime. And on Sunday, catch more college hoops with Iowa and Nebraska at 11:30 and the Big East Women's Tournament semifinal at 1:30. Fox Sports, Fox Kansas, Channel 24, Cox Cable Channel 4.
Hey, Shocker fans, the 2025 Wichita State baseball season is upon us, and season tickets are available now. Following last year's conference championship run, the Shockers continue their pursuit of a championship and NCAA tournament appearance in year 2 of head coach Brian Green. See what all the new hype around Shocker baseball is about by securing your season tickets for as little as $75 now at GoShockers.com/tickets or by calling 316-978-FANS.
Washburn University School in Topeka, Kansas, along with the Washburn University School of Law, has partnered with the Robert J. Dole Center for Law and Government, along with the Washington, D.C.-based A New America organization for a new program that is open to the public coming up on Thursday for the Fusion Voting presentation. As they say, the program is titled Fusion Voting in Kansas, Past, Present, and Future, and will take place from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. on Thursday, March 6th in the Robert J. Dole Hall of Washburn's Law School, located at Southwest 21st Street on Washburn Avenue. According to the organizers, they say that, quote, it's a timely event that will explore the history, legal implications, and potential impact of fusion voting in Kansas, as well as its relevance to the current political landscape. They say it is open to the public and will focus on a common feature of the American electoral system, with the conversation of allowing multiple different political parties to nominate same candidates, giving voters greater flexibility and influence in elections. Kansas Mid-America Network News, I'm Andy Hoosier.
Always happy with your 5-star customer service. Your staff was super friendly and easy to work with.
Quick, helpful, responsive. Thank you. I'm so happy to be a Blue Valley customer. Blue Valley is awesome.
Blue Valley employees are always helpful, kind, and efficient.
At Blue Valley Technologies, we appreciate all our customers. Thank you for entrusting us to keep you connected.
Mid-America Network News, I'm Andy Hoosier. Well, those advocating for increased compensation for state legislators in the state of Nebraska could see a small victory with new discussions about removing the compensation details from the state constitution. As according to the Nebraska Examiner, they say Nebraska's Legislative Executive Board had voted unanimously this week to advance legislation resolution 25CA that would create the, quote, nonpartisan independent legislative compensation commission. They say the new amendment that is proposed would remove the requirement for voters to approve approve any pay increases for legislators after they say the last time that they received a pay increase was back in 1988 when they raised the state senator's monthly salary from $300 a month to $1,000 a month, with voters last rejecting a proposed pay increase back in 2012. According to advocates of the pay raise, they say that right now the $12,000 yearly deters individuals from being able to run for office, having to quit their jobs and not have additional income.
Are you ready to score a slam dunk on your next car purchase? At Rusty Accord, we're shooting for the best deals just for you. With over 600 new and used vehicles to choose from, we've got the ride to match your game. All at prices and financing that'll leave you cheering. Like a 2024 F-150 up to $17,000 off. Or a 2024 Expedition $7,000 rebate and up to $14,000 off. Stock number 24T304C. Or a 2024 F-150 as low as 1.9% APR.
I'm throwing down dunks. Rusty Export is throwing down prices. Come visit our team today so we can save the most money.
Rusty at Ford, where the deals are always a win. Visit Rusty at Ford or online at rustyatford.com. With approved credit, must finance with Ford Motor Credit. See delivery details. Number 24T984.
Reporting local news, I'm Max Blasky. We continue our news segments with comments from Jeff Siegler's recent presentation in Marysville, Civic Apathy, Civic Pride. Siegler comments that there are many ways to increase community pride, the first of which is holding an identity and valuing traditions.
Identity matters to us all. That's a big part of our pride. It's like knowing who your ancestors were, or where you came from, or what, or your own personal trials and tribulations. Like who were you and what did you do to become who you are? And so I think we need to really sort of go deeper on celebrating our community identity. And one of the best ways to do that is tradition.
Avoiding empty spaces and dilapidated buildings while also giving the public a space to enjoy the beauty of a community are two major components in increasing civic pride.
Vacant property is the biggest curse on a community. It is the worst thing that you can have. Nothing depresses civic pride more than empty, falling down buildings. It's extremely expensive to allow vacant property to sit around and decline. It decreases real estate values. You have to spend more money on police and fire. It depresses tourism. Like, it has this huge cost, and everybody just sits around and, well, I mean, like, if your neighbor's house was falling in, you would want something done about it. But when it comes to downtown commercial property, everybody seems fine with it, and we shouldn't be. To increase civic pride, we have to improve that sense of ownership and engagement. One of the best ways to do that is improving the public realm. Making public space, be it parks, making it Main Street, sidewalks, public plaza, wherever. Like, we need beautiful public space so that we feel that sense of ownership, so we feel that pride, saying this is ours. This is the taxpayers all together. This is what we have. This is what we own. This is a space we get to share that feels special.
Valuing community volunteer efforts and encouraging local business growth is a key contributor to community growth as a whole.
Cleanups have a huge impact. Again, like, don't ask volunteers just to listen to reports or sit on committees. Have them go clean stuff up. It looks better, it's rewarding, it's satisfying, and people always feel more connected to places that they clean up. And then one of the biggest things I think is we really need to do a better job of teaching local people how to become developers again. How can you take a local contractor or a subcontractor and help them understand you can actually build a home, you can build a commercial building, and how can we work at the municipal level to make sure that we are being very pro-local development friendly? Most towns are really good at seeing the national chain come in, or the pole barn or the Walmart, but we're not great about when somebody local wants to build. But our towns need to be built local with local hands, so we need to really cultivate that skill again of people being able to build locally.
Finally, Seeger says that for a community to grow and feel pride, standards need to be raised.
We have to raise our standards. We have to push our standards up always. Their standards go down real easy, and they're a lot harder to raise. And there's a huge cost to letting them recede, but it's really, really important because no one's ever gotten better by lowering standards. We know it in our personal lives. Anybody that runs a business or a nonprofit knows that when standards go down, things decline. But at the municipal level, we're really willing to let standards go down. We're really willing to say, hey, we don't want to enforce codes anymore. We don't want to tell people what to do with their property. So it just gets worse, and all our lives decline because of it. There's a reason why we have rules and laws and licenses so that we mitigate the risk of doing this behavior. And So what I said is with certain red tape, with certain standards, it actually becomes less risky to invest. We need to have some enforcement.
Listen back to any of our KNDY news segments by going to KNDYradio.com underneath the KNDY News Podcast tab.
Joan M. Ulick, age 87, of Greenleaf, passed away February 22nd. Funeral service Saturday, March 8th at 10:30 from the Sacred Heart Catholic Church, Greenleaf. Burial in the church cemetery. Visitation at the church Friday from 6 until 7 with the vigil service at 7. Ward Funeral Home in charge of arrangements for Joan Ulick. Laura H. Tickner, age 88, passed away March 1st. Funeral service is planned Saturday, 11 a.m. at the First Christian Church with interment in the Blue Springs Cemetery. Visitation Friday, noon until 8 at the Griffith Huvendick Chapel of Beatrice in charge of arrangements for Laura Tickner. Donald L. Donnie Inglis, age 78, of Pawnee City, passed away February 7th. Memorial service Saturday, March 8th, 11 a.m. at the Christian First Presbyterian Church in Pawnee City. Visitation Friday, 9 until 8. Family will greet friends Friday from 5 until 7 at the Wherry Mortuary of Pawnee City in charge of arrangements for Donnie English. James Jim Nork, age 83, of Marysville, passed away Monday. Funeral services planned Saturday with a rosary at 2, the service at 2:30 at St. Gregory's Catholic Church in Marysville. Burial in the church cemetery. Kinsley's of Marysville in charge of arrangements for Jim Nork. Rod Warford, age 63, passed away Tuesday. Funeral service Monday, 10:30 at the Wymore Church of Christ. Burial in the Wymore Cemetery. Visitation Sunday, 1 until 8. Family will greet friends Sunday from 6 until 7:30 at the Laughlin Funeral Home of Wymore in charge of arrangements for Rod Warford. Shirley Height, age 77, of Frankfort, passed away March 1st. Celebration of life service to be held at a later date with the Padden Funeral Chapel in charge of arrangements for Shirley Height.
United Bank & Trust has been fulfilling the banking needs of families and businesses in Northeast Kansas for decades. United Bank & Trust is always advancing, and now they'd like to offer a free mobile deposit feature within the mobile banking app. Endorse, click, and submit your check image for deposit. It's a mobile fast world out there, and so is United Bank & Trust, the bank of your future. Visit our website at ubankonline.com or your local branch for more information. United Bank & Trust, banking for your way of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
On the Marshall County Senior Citizens Lunch Menu Thursday, ham loaf with a muffin, scalloped potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and pineapple. Friday, salmon patties, mac and cheese, broccoli, and cherries.
Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for Northeast Kansas and Southeast Nebraska. A slight chance for some rain showers today, mostly cloudy with our highs in the lower to upper 50s. South winds between 5 and 15 and gusting as high as 25. Some rain showers likely overnight tonight with our lows in the lower to upper 30s. Southeast winds between 10 and 15 and gusting as high as 30. Some rain and snow showers continue into Friday, otherwise sunny with our highs in the lower to upper 40s. North winds between 10 and 15 and gusting as high as 25. Then partly cloudy skies into Friday night with our lows in the lower to mid-20s. Some sunshine and warmer throughout Saturday with our highs in the mid to upper 50s. Then clear skies throughout Saturday night with our lows in the upper 20s and lower 30s. Warmer throughout the day on Sunday with our highs in the mid to upper 60s, then mostly clear skies over Sunday night with our lows in the mid to upper 30s. More sunshine continues throughout Monday with our highs in the mid to upper 70s, and partly cloudy skies over Monday night with our lows in the mid to upper 40s. And staying sunny on Tuesday with our highs in the mid to upper 70s, and partly cloudy Tuesday night. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster.
Average high temperature early March 52, record high on this date 84. The average low 28, and the record low 2 below zero. Sunset this evening, 6:24. Sunrise in the morning at 6:54.
Make it an even dozen. Again, good morning. I'm Jay Reynolds. Cavaliers a 5-point win over Miami last night. 112-107. They become the first team in the NBA to clinch a playoff berth this season. It's their 12th consecutive win. Second team in NBA history with 3 12-game win streaks over the course of a season. Celtics winning also last night, 10-point win over the Blazers. Peyton Pritchard hits 10 threes and finishes with a career-high 43. Derek White hits 9 threes and finishes with 41 points. They're the first duo in NBA history to make 9 threes in the same game. James Harden goes for 50 as the Clippers beat the Pistons 123-115. Thunder beat the Grizzlies 120-103, 41 for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Giannis with 32 as the Bucks blow out the Mavs by 30. Denver tops Sacramento 116-110. College hoops. Ole Miss knocks off number 4 Tennessee on a bucket with 7 seconds to go. Top 10 matchup goes to Florida. Gators beat Alabama 99-94. Maryland gets past Michigan 71-65. Louisville tops Cal for their 8th consecutive win. Notre Dame beats Stanford 56-54. On the ice, Caps beat the Rangers 3-2 in overtime, and in the win.
Second unit here. Mangiapane, McMichael, Frank, Chikrin, Ovechkin, and loose for Mangiapane off the draw. Loose there, and Ovechkin scores! Alex Ovechkin picks it up on the far side of the goal crease. That's goal number 885.
John Walton, Capitals Radio Network, 885 for his career, 9 away from tying Wayne Gretzky. Ovechkin is 10 away from holding the all-time scoring record. Football, Chargers release linebacker Joey Bosa. Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf has requested a trade. Quarterback Dak Prescott restructures his deal in Dallas. Defensive end Max Crosby gets an extension with the Raiders.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
But that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
There are lots of reasons to get excited for spring. Warmer weather, get-togethers, and now new spring arrivals from your favorite brands at Macy's. Even more exciting, refresh your beauty routine at our Buy More, Save More event. Pick up new skincare, makeup, and fragrances from Estee Lauder, Valentino, MAC, and more. And save $30 with every $150 you spend. The more you spend, the more you save. Don't wait. Beauty deals this good won't last long. Hurry into Macy's today. Savings off regular price beauty and fragrance. Exclusions apply.
Wednesday, sub-state basketball action. Marysville Bulldog boys team season came to an end. Heston, the Swathers winning 53-36 to advance. Marysville finishes the season 11-11. Valley Heights girls advance to play in the championship. They'll host Saturday. Valley Heights girls over Mount Academy 62-55. Elm Creek beat Diller Odell in the Nebraska State Tournament. Elm Creek 60, Diller Odell 44 as the Lady Griffins end their season 18-8.
From ABC News, Wall Street Now. Despite uncertainty over proposed tariffs, the Federal Reserve's Beige Book shows U.S. economic activity rose slightly in February. It says overall expectations were slightly optimistic, even as tariffs are slapped on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China. Potential concessions on tariffs had Wall Street's investors in a buying mood Wednesday. The Dow Jones rose 485 points to close a few points above 43,000. The S&P gained a little over 1%, the NASDAQ 1.5%. The next CEO of 7-Eleven's Japanese parent company is longtime retail executive Stephen Dacus. It'll be his job to fend off a takeover planned by the Canadian owner of the Circle K convenience store chain. So you received a text from your local toll road operator demanding payment for unpaid tolls and threatening to take your license away? Do not click the link. It's a scam, and it's spreading to more states. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Enroll in Farm Bureau Financial Services Driveology, and you'll instantly save 10% on your auto insurance premium. Over time, your safe driving habits could earn you even bigger savings, up to 50%. Learn more and start saving with Driveology at fbfs.com/save. 10% savings applied at enrollment for select coverages. Future savings based on individual driving behaviors and varies by coverages selected. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
Good Thursday morning. Sam Speck with your latest market information here on the Mid-America Ag Network. Well, as we inch closer to the opening bell here on this Thursday day of trade, quick recap from yesterday. Boy, it was certainly a day to remember. Lots of positivity, quite a bit of green on the screen through the grains, oil seeds, really not much of a weakness there. In the livestock, we saw no weakness as we saw April live cattle up 190 at 196.55, June up 262 at 192.70. Triple-digit gains for the feeders as well. March feeder cattle up 225 275 to 276.10. April up 357 to 276.07. And big day for the hogs as well. April lean hogs up 235 to 84.70. May up $2 at 87.47 per hundredweight. All right, a dive to the overnight pre-trade session. Just an idea as to what traders might be thinking about before the opening bell this morning. Shows a mixed look this morning. After a higher day yesterday in wheat, we've got a lot of green this morning as well. Chicago, spring, Kansas City wheat all trending higher. May Kansas City wheat rather up 2 3/4 at 5.59 3/4. July up 2.5 to 5.73 3/4. May oats up 1 1/4 to 3.82 1/4. And corn, the later contracts do see some weakness, but March corn still up 2 1/4 at 4.42.5. May up 2 1/4 to 4.58. Soybeans also a few cents higher. March soybeans up 6.5 to 10.04 1/4. May up 9.5 to 10.21 1/4 cent. Soybean meal up 2.40 to 2.95.40, and soy oil up 42 to 42.86. Cotton yesterday was mixed, but a triple-digit jump to start this morning. May cotton up 110 at 64.77. In the energy markets, crude oil up 43 cents to 66.74 a barrel. Unleaded gas is up 0.5 cent to $2.14 a gallon. Heating oil up a penny to $2.25, and natural gas currently down 6 cents to $4.39. April gold down 15.30 to $29.1070. March silver down a dime at $32.75 an ounce, and the dollar index down 20 at 105.055.
Maximum Outdoor Equipment and Service is growing and ready for mowing season. Come see our new location at 21st and Andover Road or visit Kellogg and West Street. Mowing season is easier with the productivity of a Walker mower from Maximum Outdoor. Walker mower's compact design for easy maneuvering, out front deck for trimming, and a variety of attachments helps maintain a healthy lawn. Test drive a Walker mower at Maximum Outdoor's newest location, south of 21st and Andover Road, or south of Kellogg on West Street, or MaximumOutdoor.com.
Maximum Outdoor Equipment.
Since 1987, Superior Livestock Auctions have helped farmers and ranchers like you sell cattle. If you're looking to get the highest profit out of your cattle and a hassle-free sell, the name you need to know is Troy Shaw with Double T Livestock. With 466,000 head of cattle sold, Troy knows exactly what you need to do to get the most out of your operation. Call Troy today at 620-491-3312, whether you have a couple head of cattle or a few thousand head of cattle to sell. You can also stop by Double T Livestock at 805 East D Avenue in Kingman, Kansas to watch your cattle sell. Double T Livestock. We don't want everyone.
Be prepared for this planting season with Cottage Hill Ag Supply's Spring Planter Clinic March 6th at their location south of Waterville on Thursday, March 6th from 1:30 p.m. until 3:30. Covered will be planter maintenance practices and proper planter setup for a successful planting season, as well as a full dive into the precision planting lineup offered at Cottage Hill Ag Supply. Call Darren at 785-363-6101 or visit Cottage Hill Ag Supply on Facebook for more information.
From Kansas State University, this is Agriculture Today. I'm Shelby Varner. For the past few years, K-State researchers have been looking into planting soybeans earlier on irrigated cropland to see if this is a possibility for crop growers. K-State's Eric Adey explains how much earlier they planted their soybean crop and if it impacted yield and disease concerns.
What we're talking about in this study is planting starting at the end of March, if the soil conditions are fit, and then we're spacing it out, going back. The last planting date we have in this current study is first week of May. So we're pushing it quite a bit earlier than what is traditionally planted here in the Kansas River Valley of Kansas. And when we plant that early, we will see a few days earlier maturing. On average, compared to the 1st of May planting date, we were about 4 to 5 days earlier. But, we planted like 30, 34 days different, and we ended up maturing only 4 or 5 days different. So the soybeans have a way of compensating. They go off a day length a lot. That's how they respond to the season.
He says what planting date had the highest yield?
The best yields we had were with either the first planting date, which is the end of March, or the middle of April planting date. And given year, either one of those were the highest yield, and they averaged about 4 bushel better than the 1st of May planting date. So that's averaged over 4 years in 2 different varieties. We have a 3.7 maturity and a 4.1, 4.2 variety. So there was a yield advantage.
It is important to note the value of irrigation in this study.
This is all on irrigated ground in the Kansas River Valley. So moisture wasn't a limiting factor. And some years we had to irrigate quite a bit. And that is a concern. If you're planting in dry land, you may get a bunch of nice foliage and starting to set a bunch of pods, and you run out of moisture in August. And that you're not going to see the added yield. You may not see the added yield benefit. That is, in Kansas, that could happen. That has happened. So, but under irrigation, moisture isn't a limiting factor. So we can realize that extra yield potential because we got extra pods, we got more beans filling, so we can realize it with the irrigation.
That was Kansas State University agronomist in charge of the Kansas River Valley and East Central Experiment Field, Eric Adey, discussing his multiple-year study of planting soybeans before corn on irrigated ground. I'm Shelby Varner, and this has been Agriculture Today over the K-State Radio Network.
Thursday is sale day at Marysville Livestock Incorporated. Well over 1,500 head of early consignments for the 11 a.m. start. They'll have a black cow-calf pair. The calf's 10 days old. Will be split off sale day. 5 purebred Simmental breeding bulls selling at $11.30. They'll also be selling 65 black breedable heifers, 800 pounds. 60 black breedable heifers, 8 to 850. 20 red Angus breedable heifers, 8 to 850. 20 black breedable heifers weighing 8 to 850. 14 black steers and heifers weighing 3 to 4. 60 Charolais cross steers and heifers 4.5 to 6. 22 black steers and heifers 4.5 to 7. 66 weighing 475 to 650, and 68 at 5 to 600 pounds. 45 black steers weighing 5 to 7. 45 black steers and heifers 5 to 7, with 15 weighing 6 to 7. 102 black steers 650 to 775. 19 black and red steers and heifers weigh 6.5 to 8. 8 red steers and heifers 7 to 850. 9 black and red steers and heifers weighing 7 to 850. 125 black and white face, red and white face steers and heifers 750 to 950. 65 mixed heifers at 775 to 8. 180 black heifers 825 to 850. 60 red heifers 825 to 850. 27 black steers 850 to 9, with 60 weighing 875 to 9. 60 crossbred steers 9 to 9 1/4. 60 crossbred steers weighing 9 to 9 1/4. 60 red steers at 9 to 950. 60 black steers 9 to 950. Those are early consignments for the sale Thursday beginning 11 a.m. at Marysville Livestock Incorporated.
We sometimes cry when we're overwhelmed by happiness. Ever wonder why? We will take a closer look on the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report.
If you're a farmer or rancher, chances are you've thought about joining Kansas Farm Bureau. So what's stopping you? Your membership means you have a seat at the table when it comes to the issues that affect your farm. Things like trade, taxes, water, and regulations. The state's largest farm advocacy organization brings your message to policy decision makers at the county, state, and national level. The voice of agriculture becomes your voice and fights for Kansas farmers and ranchers. And a Kansas Farm Bureau membership includes other benefits. For about $50 a year, you'll receive discounts on equipment and supplies, cell phone plans, financial and legal support, home and office supplies, and more. You'll also receive Kansas Living, a quarterly lifestyle magazine featuring real stories of farmers and producers around the state, plus great recipes, crafts, and things to see and do in Kansas. Join us today. Visit kfb.org/farmer-rancher to learn more.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Thursday, March 6th, the 65th day of the year. Actor Rob Reiner has a birthday, and the artist Michelangelo was born on this day in 1475. Most of us have had tears of joy at one time or another, but why would we cry when we're happy? A Yale psychologist thinks she has it figured out. Intense emotions tend to inhibit regular cognitive functions. In order to maintain control, turning on the waterworks is our brain's way of restoring emotional balance. And those tears have another benefit, too. They contain stress hormones and endorphins, nature's painkillers. It's why we often say we feel better after a good cry. We suspect the equilibrium logic works in reverse as well. We often say we have to laugh to keep from crying. That's the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Learn more at almanac.com.
I'm Sam Speck with your latest Mid-America Sports Network update. As it was the K-State Wildcats having a big night, senior David Gesson collected his team-leading sixth double-double of the season with a game-high 18 points and 10 rebounds, helping K-State to a 54-49 win over Cincinnati last night. K-State now 500 on the year, just 9-10 in Big 12 play, used a nice defensive effort to snap a three-game road losing streak. Up next for the Wildcats, they'll play their final regular season game for senior night on Saturday when the Wildcats host number 10 in the country, Iowa State, 12:30 p.m. tip-off from Bramlage Coliseum. Also in action for K-State athletics includes their women's basketball team. That game will get started a little bit later this morning here as they get the Big 12 Women's Basketball Championship underway. They'll be playing UCF, who comes into this game 12-17 on the year. K-State, of course, finished 25-6. That will be an 11 a.m. tip-off from T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. Unfortunately, the KU Jayhawks women's basketball team got beat by Texas Tech in the first round of the Big 12 Championship 57-53 last night up in Kansas City.
A lot of homes built in the 90s still have their original siding and windows. If this is you, then call Burwell Construction at 316-794-3430. New siding and windows can make your house more energy efficient. Burwell Construction has been a trusted name for thousands of homeowners. Call them today, 316-794-3430, and let Burwell Construction give you a free estimate on windows and siding. And Burwell Construction will take care of all your guttering needs. Find them online at burwellconstruction.com.
If it's Burwell, it's Burwell. Burwell Construction.
Multi-platinum hitmaker Justin Moore is coming to Newkirk.
This is my daughter, these are my fields.
And Seven Clans First Council Casino Hotel and Resort. Friday, March 7th, Justin Moore. In concert in an all-ages show. Get your tickets for Justin Moore now at the Players Club or 7clans.com. Justin Moore, Friday, March 7th. At Seven Clans First Council Casino and Resort, Newkirk, North Highway 77.
Now for Wichita State's men's basketball, they'll wrap a two-game Texas road swing with its final road game of the season tonight in Houston as they play Rice. It will be Wichita State's first game against Rice on the road since 1949. That game from Tudor Fieldhouse will tip off at 7 p.m. this evening. Now in national news, we'll look to men's college basketball as there was quite a few top 25 matchups last night, including 13 versus 17, Maryland and Michigan, as the Terrapins down the Michigan Wolverines 71-65. Florida over Alabama in a top 10 matchup 99-94. Clemson and Boston College downs 78-69 as the Tigers get the win. OU over Missouri 96-84 in a nice little upset there. And Texas Tech down in Colorado 91-75. But the biggest of the night comes from unranked Ole Miss upsetting number 4 Tennessee 78-76. And lastly, just a quick note in conclusion shows Ovechkin moves now 9 behind Wayne Gretzky with his 885th goal, and Joey Bosa released with a 9-year run with the Chargers. Sam Speck, Mid-America Sports Network.
Marysville Bulldogs faced second seed Heston Swathers in 3A sub-state action Wednesday. Heston ruling 53-36, ending Marysville's season at 11-11. Swathers took 3 of 4 quarters from Marysville, led by 6'6" senior Reed Friesen with 16 points. Asher Dushendorf in double figures with 11, as the Swathers improved to 20-2, tipping off Halstead in the finals Saturday. Marysville's Willow Todd, 20 points in the ball game. Checked out for a moment, got hit in the chops early in the fourth quarter, but came back and finished strong. He was the only Bulldog in double figures. 4 Marysville players scored. 53-36 final. Marysville boys in their season 11-11. Reporting for KNDY Sports, I'm Bruce Deere.
Wednesday sub-state basketball action. Marysville Bulldog boys team season came to an end. Heston, the Swathers winning 53-36 to advance. Marysville finishes the season 11-11. Valley Heights girls advance to play in the championship. They'll host Saturday. Valley Heights girls over Mount Academy 62-55. Elm Creek beat Diller Odell in the Nebraska State Tournament. Elm Creek 60, Diller Odell 44 as the Lady Griffins end their season 18-8.
You're tuned in to the TVL Rundown, a comprehensive weekly look at the athletics inside the Twin Valley League. The TVL Rundown is a service of B&D Buildings in Axtell and the Citizens National Bank in Greenleaf.
B&D Buildings of Axtell specializes in post-frame buildings. Give them a call for stud-frame buildings with complete concrete and electrical work included. It's one call to get the job done. B&D Buildings, specializing in post-frame building construction. plus repairs and more. Always free estimates. Give them a call. B&D Buildings of Axtell, 785-294-0147. B&D Buildings at 785-294-0147.
Another reason to make the Citizens National Bank your bank. With a century of experience, you know you can count on us for convenient banking and personal service for people you know and trust. With extended hours and online banking for all your financial needs. Another reason to make the Citizens National Bank your bank.
Welcome into a Sub-State Championship edition of the TVL Rundown. Jeff, it is championship weekend in the TVL. Many TVL teams are in contention from Monday night's action. We're going to start in Class 1A Division I Centralia Sub-State bracket. The 9-seed Blue Valley Rams, who entered this contest 11-9, took out 1-seeded Lincoln, who was 15-4, 61-24 on the top side of the bracket. Meanwhile, on the bottom side of that bracket, 5-seeded Frankfort defeated state runner-up last year, Bishop Seabury, 73-70, behind 38 points from Wes Anderson. That sets up a Frankfort Blue Valley in the championship matchup. Jeff, I'm going to let you take your pick. Which game was most impressive for you to see?
Really, the way that Blue Valley played really showed me some things. And I hate to say I told you so, but I think last week I said that Blue Valley had this opportunity. They shot really well from three. They played very well. I don't want to discount either of these teams because, as you said, Frankfort went on the road, knocked off a big team. I don't know that either of these is more impressive than the other, but it really shows what the Twin Valley League is all about.
Shifting our attention now to the Class 1A Division II Sub-State bracket out in the Tescott region. We're going to start with the boys contest on Saturday. It was top-seeded Logan Palco getting past 8-seeded Tescott this last Monday, while 4th-seeded Hanover got by 5th-seeded Victoria pretty squarely, 75-51, matching up a 1-4 matchup with Hanover a chance to go back to the state tournament. And I think Hanover really showed their TVL dominance with that 20-plus point win against 5th-seeded Victoria there on Monday night.
We talk about peaking at the right time. The game the other night was the best that I have seen Hanover play in several weeks now. I think they played as a team. I think they played fast the entire night. And that's what this team needs to be, up and down the court. They turn defense into offense, multiple steals leading to runouts. And I think they are playing very, very well right now, and that makes them a dangerous team.
Now, the game that follows that one, it'll be 2-seeded Axtell, who's 20-1 on the season, taking on 3-seeded Beloit St. John Tipton, who is 14-6. The Axtell Eagles got past Lynn on Monday night, 65-41. And that was a game, Jeff, that I had an opportunity to call. Lynn stuck with it. Lynn played hard. They kept it around 10. But at the end of the day, this Axtell team, if they're not in a state championship game in the Class 1A Division II bracket, not saying it's a loss on the year, but I know that's the expectation for the Axtell Eagles boys this season.
Well, it's the expectation anytime Axtell goes on the court, goes on the field, whatever they may be, that highest expectation. And no, it's not a failure, but, man, they want that trophy very bad in Axtell.
Now shifting our attention to the girls' side of the Class 1A Division II bracket, it was top-seeded Hanover taking care of 8-seeded Northern Valley last Saturday, while 5th-seeded Axtell took care of 4th-seeded Pike Valleys. That sets up a TVL matchup in the girls' championship this Friday at 6 p.m. Jeff, I think this is one of the most interesting matchups this year. It'll be the second straight year that Axtell and Hanover meet up in a sub-state championship game, but last time these two teams met, Axtell took Hanover to overtime in Hanover and had an opportunity to win that contest in regulation. And talking to head coach Brad Brocksterman, I think his Axtell Eagles girls, led by 4 freshmen, are probably one of the most confident teams coming into this sub-state round.
And we looked at this bracket from the beginning. Could you find anyone other than the Axtell Eagles and Hanover Lady Wildcats matching up? It looked destined from the beginning. Axtell could run the table in this one, and they played really well against Pike Valley. They played very, very well. And I said, if there's any team that can slow down Axtell, it's Hanover. I still believe that, but I can flip that around just as easily and say, if there's any team that can slow down Hanover, it's Axtell. So we're going to see a stalemate in this one.
Meanwhile, on the bottom side of the Class 1A Division II bracket, 2-seeded Lynn took care of 7-seeded Victoria last Saturday. Meanwhile, 3-seeded Beloit St. John's Tipton took care of 6-seeded Thunder Ridge. That sets up a Lynn Beloit St. John Tipton matchup this Friday at 7:30 p.m. The Lynn girls come into that contest 15-6 on the year. And Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, but if Lynn wins this game, this will be the first trip for the Lynn girls to state since the 2008 season. So a lot riding on this contest coming up Friday night.
Definitely. I think there is a buzz in Lynn. I think the team feels it at this point. This was a team I still think was a little unsure of themselves for a while. Then they blossomed and realized, hey, we can do this. And you get that confidence this time of year. You've got to balance that confidence at just the right spot before it becomes cockiness. They're doing that. Lynn is a confident team going into this game. They are battle-tested, and they know what they're doing at this point.
And again, KNDY FM 95.5 will start our broadcast Friday evening from the Tescott region with the Hanover girls, Axtell girls, followed by Lynn girls, Beloit St. John's Tipton, and then come back Saturday with Hanover versus Logan Palco boys at 5 p.m., Axtell, St. John's, Beloit Tipton boys at 6:30. Again, for Jeff Wirtz on the TVL Sports Spotlight, this has been Max Blasky on KNDY Radio. Next time we'll talk with you, we will be crowning sub-state champions and getting ready for some state basketball action as the high school basketball season winds to an end. You've been tuned in to the TVL Rundown, a weekly comprehensive look at the athletics inside the Twin Valley League. The TVL Rundown is a service of B&D Buildings in Axtell and the Citizens National Bank in Greenleaf.
Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. Slight chance of rain. Today, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Highs level off around 52. Clear skies. Tonight, slight chance for rain. Lows around 33. Cloudy skies expected. Tomorrow, slight chance for rain showers becoming mixed precipitation. Highs level off around 44. I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Currently 25.